And what is your name?
I'm Kiran Jeetkar.
Okay, and what is your name?
My name is Gunwant Kaur.
Okay.
Swami Dev Singh.
Okay. What is an assumption that you have ran into from people outside of the Sikh culture? What is an assumption that people make that is wrong?
The main one is that we are a sect of Hinduism, which is not true.
Okay.
Okay, Sikhism is an independent religion. It was founded by Guru Nanak Dev Ji in 1469. He was a Hindu to begin with, but the Sikh that are today was actually passed through 10 gurus, and the 10th guru is what gave us our identity for today.
Okay.
But there are a lot of Hindus who believe in Sikhism in the first guru. But we welcome everybody, and I think ours main Gurdwara in Punjab, India, in Pakistan, in Amritsar, is the main shrine for us. And if you go there, it's open on all four sides, and there is no discrimination as to who can go there.
Okay, so Sikhism is open to anyone, and it is
Anybody,
not Hinduism.
It is not Hinduism.
Okay.
It is its own religion.
Okay.
Okay.
So do you share the same? Is there an assumption that people have gotten wrong about Sikhism that you wish they would get right?
I consider myself a baby Sikh.
Okay.
I only just recently took Amrit in 2022.
Okay.
So I, thankfully, thank Creator, haven't really come across too many false assumptions.
Okay.
I think perhaps maybe an assumption could be that Sikhism is only of people that are Punjabi or that are of the India continent, but really, similar to yourself, as one begins to travel, we begin to see that there's Sikhs of all different cultures. I personally speak Spanish, so my parents were from Mexico, and
Bienvenido.
gracias. So yeah, I'm a Spanish-speaking Sikh, and it's something that is open. It is a religion, it is a philosophy, it is a lifestyle, it is a way of being that is absolutely welcoming and open to everybody of any background, of race, creed, culture, and spiritual beliefs.
Wow. Did you receive or have you received any kind of pushback or negativity from your family?
I think that prior to becoming Sikh, I was already vegan. So I think the biggest, challenge that I have with my family is that they still eat meat. And I personally am currently as much a fruitarian as possible. So I only eat fruit and primarily liquids.
Okay.
So I think that that's the biggest challenge. My family I grew up very spiritual within my family. So we also are in agreement that there's one universal creator. And whether we call that creator Allah, Ra, or Dios, or Waheguru, whatever the case, for me personally, that universal creator force is love.
Okay.
There's nothing else. Yeah.
That is so beautiful. Muy bonita.
Gracias.
Okay, what about you?
During the Iranian hostage crisis in the late 1970s, many people thought I was an Iranian terrorist. Then in the mid-1980s, there was a lot of turmoil going on with the Sikhs in India, so people knew I was a Sikh, but they assumed I was a Sikh terrorist. Then during the first war with Iraq, this was really ironic, I had an Iraqi car repairman, and I was standing out in front of his shop one day talking to him, and somebody drove by and looked at me and said, "Ooh, it's an Iraqi." And meanwhile, I was talking to a real Iraqi. For about 10, 15 years after 9/11, I had countless people call me Bin Laden. I walked into a 7-Eleven one time, and these two Hispanic young men were in there, and one said, "Are you the son of Bin Laden?" And I said, "No, I'm his grandmother." And he said, "If I see you out in the street, I'm going to kill you." And then he started calling me the N-word. And there were two young black men working behind the counter. They were laughing. And then
This was just a cultural catastrophe all the way around.
For 10, 15 years after that, everybody kept calling me Bin Laden.
Oh my goodness. How does that, when someone makes assumptions like this, does it change how you view that person or how you interact with that person?
It's all ignorance, and there have been a couple of times when I got into verbal confrontations with people over that before I wised up and realized that there's no point in that. So I've realized now the best thing is just to ignore it or just to be polite and say, how are you or whatever.
Yeah.
So like Yogi Bhajan, my teacher always said, he said, don't react. It's always better to respond than it is to react.
There you go. Yeah.
It's been a long time now since I've been called Bin Laden. That seems to have tapered off.
That's good.
But
That's
there's,
good.
there's still plenty of people who think that I'm a Muslim or something. Most people have never heard of Sikhism here in America.
Were you born into
I was
Sikhism?
born into a Sikh family. I came here when I was in grade school.
Okay.
So, but I've seen a great transition from the growth of the Sikh community in the U.S.
Okay.
So it's been wonderful.
So you're saying that more people are turning to Sikhism in the West.
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
What I'm saying is there's a larger community of Sikhs
I
over
see.
there,
Okay.
and they're in all different fields.
Okay.
And if you see the progress of the Sikhs, most of them are well educated. The people who first came over here, they're well educated. They're doctors, they're engineers, they're in all different fields.
Okay.
So it's not like people make assumptions just because, like Swami Dev says, that they wear a turban. There's lots of misconceptions, and I agree with him that a lot of it's just ignorance.
Right. Ignorance and maybe fear too, just fear of the unknown.
I think there is the fear of these days. The fear is anybody who's not a white American.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's the fear that's growing over here.
Yeah.
I grew up in a very small community in central Illinois, and we never experienced prejudice.
Okay.
It was a 5,000 people, town of 5,000 people. My dad was a professor, so we never experienced, because my dad would go out and educate, the Lions
so
clubs
important,
and
yeah.
the churches and everything. So, but I think the main thing is to educate.
It's really important.
Yeah.
And that's the heart behind Sacred Earth Journey. As a Sikh, how does it, for you especially, has it changed like how you view others outside of your community or outside of your culture? Does Sikhism, does it impact how you treat others?
Absolutely, yes. I think that because one's veil gets lifted over one's third eye, we start to see God within every person. We start to see the radiant light within each person. So even if there's somebody that is speaking from a place of misconception, misunderstanding, or ignorance, we recognize that that's just our past self. Right, that's just that's who we used to be.
Okay.
Right, we ourselves didn't know everything. Right, upon birth, we ourselves have had to go through the journey of enlightenment, really is what it is, right? The journey of recognizing like the divine spark, the divine light within each individual. And that's not just human beings. For me personally, as an Indigenous person, I also recognize the divine light within trees, within animals, within any, water spirits, fire spirits, whatever it may be. So I think that I already had that foundation as an Indigenous person, but Sikhism, because of the beautiful music, the kirtan, it's this idea that you must, or it's highly recommended that one be reciting Gurbani or listening to God's praises all the time. And so when one gets to that state of just always thinking about God and our focus and our attention becomes so connected with the divine, then everything just like falls off of us, right? We become lotus flowers where the mud where we are rooted, we're able to rise above that mud, and whatever comments, critiques, or negative feedback, it rolls off us, and we realize that it's not worth getting upset over. It's not worth breaking peace for.
So it sounds like you have softened quite a bit as a person looking outward to the world. You've
Yes.
just really softened dramatically.
Yes.
That's
yes.
very beautiful. Very beautiful.
ਦਰਵੇਸ਼ ਤੈਥੋਂ